Hello all, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, Boogeyman 3 from 2008. It's directed by Gary Jones and stars Aaron Cahill and Charles Hittinger. Well, contain your excitement because we've finally reached the concluding chapter of the Boogeyman trilogy, and let me tell you, it is more meh than you can ever imagine. It exists somewhere between the first two when it comes to quality. I'd have to say the strangest thing about the Boogeyman trilogy is the progression of just what or who exactly the fuck the Boogeyman actually is. In the first film, they stress that the Boogeyman is a supernatural creature. Well, more of a force, really, and then the end of the movie shows a monster, which turns the whole force thing into shit, but fuck me, right? Then in the sequel, 2 years later, the Boogeyman is a slasher killer killing their way through a psychiatric ward, but then to make things extra awkward, the third film of the trilogy does away with the Boogeyman as a person theory the second movie focuses on and makes the Boogeyman a supernatural creature again. It is a very bumpy roller coaster the trilogy puts us on, and I am not a fan. I'm also not a fan of this movie, as if that wasn't obvious. Whereas the sequel at least had production value, good practical effects, and a supporting performance from Tobin Bell, Boogeyman 3 does none of these things, turning a lot of gore into CGI, including several shots of the Boogeyman. Looks low budget as fuck and no Tobin Bell, although his picture does appear in a quick and weak connection to the second film. The girl in the opening of the film is supposed to be Bell's character's daughter after his untimely murder. Funny thing is, she reads a journal he was writing, and instead of her voice reading it, the psychiatrist Tobin Bell was playing reads it aloud. Only trouble is they didn't use Tobin Bell's extremely distinct voice, possibly in an attempt to save some money. Not like they pumped it back into the production, because this film looks barely above shot on video. However, I say all of this and shit all over it, but I still like this better than the 2005 Boogeyman, because at least stuff happens in this movie. It's not going to win any awards, but it understands cause and effect and knows how to keep an audience entertained. And if that means popping a titty every once in a while, I guess so be it. I'm gonna give Boogeyman 3 a D- for being shit, but not total shit. Tomorrow we take our first adventure into the work of Paul Thomas Anderson, not to be confused with Paul W.S. Anderson. The film is called Boogie Nights, and it's tomorrow. See y'all then.